In this video, I'll be showing you how to review location data in order to remove targeted locations that are not performing up to standard. We're going to be doing this every 4 weeks on the campaign level, and the date range we're going to use is going to be approximately 10 weeks or about 2.5 months. So we're going to go over to Google Ads, go into the location section. We're going to make sure we're going back approximately 2.5 months. Click apply. And from here, we want to make sure we don't have any bid adjustments, because bid adjustments don't actually do anything in maximize conversions and any other automated bid strategy. So we're going to go ahead and remove those. So first up, we're going to filter by cost per conversion so we can view the highest cost per converting areas. And as we can see here, this zip code has a problem with the cost per conversion. As you can see, the average cost per conversion by location is around $15, and this one is up in nearly 3 times the average cost per conversion. We're ignoring this one because this also includes display expansion and search partners, and so we don't always know the location of the people who are causing this average. We are strictly focused on this number when making our decision. So out of all of the locations that we are targeting, this is one that is not performing very well. As you can tell, it's getting a significant amount of impressions, significant amount of clicks, and statistically relevant enough conversions for us to decide that this cost per conversion is too high. So what we will do in order to remove this is simply select checkbox, click edit, and then click remove. You need to make sure that whoever is in charge of advertising or in charge of allocating budget for marketing for the business is okay with no longer targeting this location, because it may be that it's worth spending that extra money to get clicks and conversions in this specific location, because maybe conversions in this area are worth more, or you're trying to expand to this area, so it's worth spending the extra dollars. But if you were strictly looking at it based on a cost per conversion basis, we would remove this location. Let's look at one more campaign so that way you get a full understanding of what this looks like. Here's a campaign with a lot more locations to worry about. Do keep in mind that when you have a lot of locations to worry about, you need to make sure that each location that you are considering excluding is a location that you are okay with no longer showing your ads in that area. And once you know that you're okay to no longer show your ads in that area, then you can start making decisions to stop showing ads in areas in order to reduce your cost per conversion. So what we can see up here is our average cost per conversion for the entire account. We want to make sure we're looking at this by campaign. So we're going to go specifically to one campaign, because obviously different campaigns are going to have different cost per conversions in different areas. So we don't want to make decisions on an account basis. We want to make it at the campaign level. So as we can see here, these cost per conversions that are up in the $100 range are going to be way too high for this campaign. The average for this campaign is around $34. So anything above the $60 to $70 range is going to be too high, but we need to make sure that it has a statistically relevant enough amount of impressions and clicks for us to make the decision to no longer target the area. So what we can see here is that they all have over 100 impressions. This one right here doesn't have a ton of clicks. Typically, we like to have it over 10 clicks, because we want to make sure that it's had enough clicks to have a chance at converting. As we can see here, our average conversion rate is around 30%, which means for every 3 clicks, we should be getting 1 conversion. And so this has had a chance to get a conversion. This has had a chance to get like 7 conversions. This one has had a chance to get about 4 conversions. And as you can see here, the conversion rates are lower than we would expect. So we can definitely pause these two, because it's got enough clicks, it's got enough impressions, and we can see that the cost per conversion is just not worth it, assuming that we're okay to not show in these areas. However, this one is kind of a judgment call. It may be worth letting it run out a little bit more, because as you can see, the cost per conversion is still, it's not in the $100 range. It's kind of sitting in that 2 to 3 times range that we talk about being the point at which we would pause a location. So it's kind of up to you how specific you want to get with your budget. If you have a smaller budget, I would recommend pausing this. If you have a larger budget, I would recommend leaving it alone, because obviously the more changes you make to an account, the harder it is for Google to optimize. However, if you need to save budget as much as possible, I would recommend pausing this, because you'd rather that money be focused on other locations. And you can see the average cost per click is relatively high compared to our average cost per click for locations. So kind of make a judgment call based on your ad spend and how precise you would like to be and how much you would like to leave up to Google doing the optimization. And that's how you can kind of come to a decision. Anything less than 2 times the average cost per conversion can be left in place. So like $56 per conversion, it's a lot higher than our average cost per conversion, but it's not at the double mark yet. So we leave that in place. So that's kind of a brief overview of how you review locations in order to determine if you are going to exclude them or not. Hope this helps. Feel free to reach out to Creekside Marketing if you need any more help with your Google Ads needs, and we will see you in the next video.